Hello everyone, Tiger here. Today we are doing chapter 905 of One Piece review. So, of course this is on, Sunday afternoon, and my apologies, I was on vacation with my grandma, and we had zero Wi-Fi, so, no videos were done. But, I'm getting to it today. Taizai will be coming out tomorrow, most likely. Yeah. Taizai will be coming out tomorrow. So, this chapter, Oda has been really putting out some amazing content, ever since the end of Totland. So, today, in this chapter, we actually got to Reverie. So, we start the chapter at New Marineford. So, back at the return to SABO the arc, we were told that Akainu had moved the Marineford, the Marine HQ, over to the New World. Or it was mentioned by one of the people sitting in that bar where Nami was, I'm pretty sure. So now we're actually getting to see it, and it looks massive. So we also get to see Akainu, and he is livid right now because Fujitora is in Marijois. So, of course, back during Dressrosa, Fujitora went against orders. Well, actually, he didn't go against orders. He just didn't even wait for orders. He just did what he wanted to, and told pretty much the entire population of Dressrosa, and I think some neighboring islands, that hey, the Marines, we messed up. Okay, we severely messed up here, letting Doflamingo do what he did. So, our bad. And of course, I kind of didn't want him to do that, so he said, okay, do not you dare set foot in a Marine base until you have brought me Straw Hat Luffy and, Law's head. So, he's not too happy that Fujitora is in Marijois, so Fujitora's response to being told, hey, you can't come in here, is, this is not a Marine base. Oh. So, yeah, that's pretty funny because, Marijois isn't a Marine base, so they can't technically turn him away. Oh, that was funny. So, Akainu's just like, seriously? And then, Sengoku pops in there and says, now you know how I feel. And Akainu's just like, shut up. So then, I think it's Akainu also asked who else is going to Marijois, and, Admiral Greenbull is also going. So, I'm not going to try and say the Japanese name because, I'll butcher it. So, we end up at, here behind the G1 branch of the Paradise side of the Grand Line is the Red Port. So, the Red Port is just a giant port, and it's on both sides of the Red Line. So, it's a route to get from the, sea level up into Marijois. So, I think it basically looks like this pulley system to get up there. So, we get introduced to the concept of the Bondula, which is what the pulley system things are called. So then we get introduced to all these different royals. So first is Beer V. I probably butchered that. From the Ryugu Kingdom. Okay, this guy, it's obviously based off Russia. Because first, the kingdom's name is spelled Russun. That is Russian, just missing the I. And replaced with the U. And then also there's his daughters, which looked like the Russian nesting dolls. So obviously based off Russia. There's also King Hamburger from the Bollywood Kingdom. Okay, that is obviously based off us in the US. Bollywood, Hollywood, Hamburger. Go figure, that's like one of the foods that, well, fast foods that we're known for, the hamburger. There's also Queen Moron. Okay, her name sounds like moron. I'm sorry, but it does. I have no idea what she's based off of. From the Taizai Kingdom? Maybe India? That sounds Indian? I'm sorry if I'm butchering this. I am so sorry. Then there's King Tacos, which, oh Lord above. Okay, obviously Mexico. Obviously. So it says from the Shishano Kingdom. So that's all the not nobles, the royalty we get introduced to, and we also get to see Shirahoshi and her family. So, and they are being escorted by Garp. This was awesome. Okay, I was so happy to see Garp. Kind of disappointed we didn't get to see his reaction to Luffy's new bounty and his maybe 5th Yonko tile, maybe. Like, I wish we had seen his reaction to that, because that would have been hilarious. But we do get to see him escorting the royal family of the Ryugu Kingdom. So really happy to see Shirahoshi and Fukaboshi, Manboshi, and what's the third one? Fukaboshi, Manboshi, Ryubushi? I don't know. And of course, King Neptune. Like, what is up with, like, Neptune and then all his children? Like, Neptune has a sort of okay-ish name. I mean, it's way easier than Fukaboshi, Manboshi, and Ryuboshi. I really hope that's right. And Shirahoshi. And then when you have, like, all 4 of them, and then you have just Neptune as their father. So we get to see all of them, and everyone, of course, is fawning over Shirahoshi, of course. So while everyone's like taking pictures of her and everything, actually, Big News Morgans is there. So he's like gone completely like hard-eyed, like wow, towards Shirahoshi, which is kind of funny. So Then Garp gets approached by somebody that I have personally been wanting to see, just because I just want him to see him with SABO, which we do at the end of the chapter, and I'm so happy. And that is Stelly, or Steery, as he is named in this chapter. I'm going with Stelly because that's what his name was beforehand, so I'm just going with Stelly. So Stelly is going like, well, you know I am. I'm your king. And Garp does not give a flying crap about Stelly or the fact that he's the king of the Goa Kingdom. He doesn't care. He's just like, get out of my way, you little brat. So then when Garp goes like, get out of my way, you little brat. Stelly's like, I am the king of the Goa Kingdom. My name is Stelly. And since you are a citizen of my kingdom, you are also one of my subordinates. It will do you well to remember that. Then Morgan's kind of sticks it to Stelly. The king of the Goa Kingdom, despite its reputation as a peaceful rural country, a great number of accomplished criminals have come from there. Garp is an exception to that, but otherwise, there's Dragon, SABO, Fire Fists, and Straw Hat. What an interesting place. So yeah, he kind of like sticks it to him there, like, yeah, your kingdom gave birth to a whole lot of criminals, so maybe you shouldn't be saying something to the guy who actually is like a hero. Like, you even called him that, like, hey, Garp the hero. So yeah, you might not want to insult the only guy strong person who's come out of your kingdom that is actually good, at least. Well, Garp is good, it's just he's working with the world government. So yeah. So then we get kind of like this mini explanation just in case we forgot who Stelly was. We also get to find out, what happened with him. So he eventually married the princess of the Goa Kingdom, which is Nantucket. I really hope I said that correctly. And then after the suspicious death of the king and the prince a few months ago, Stelly ascended to the throne. So, okay. Stelly obviously killed the king and the prince. Obviously. I don't know if Nantucket knows that or not. She might. And it's just like, yeah, you killed my father and brother, but I don't really care because I get to be queen. So yeah, I don't care. Might be something like that. So Stelly actually wants to become a celestial dragon. So this is kind of interesting because such celestial dragons are descendants of people who, like the 20 families who came together to first create the world government. So, but with Stelly and Garp's interaction in this chapter, it kind of hints that maybe somebody who's not a celestial dragon could become one through some kind of something, I don't know, some kind of process or something. So that's very interesting. So when Stelly tells him that because he wants to know his Garp's connection to the nobles, Garp responds, "You're a scumbag, aren't you?" And Stelly just like he's just speechless. And then of course Garp does his usual, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. Just forget it." And Stelly's just like, He's terrifying. Oh man, I love Garp. He's hilarious. So then, of course, when Garp called Stelly a scumbag, Stelly fell backwards, and then Neptune actually picks him up. So Stelly at first thinks that he's a giant. So we actually get to find out what the nobles think of the, like, some other races, because right here it says, is he a giant? The ones that eat people and melt rocks with their saliva? So then he realizes, he sees like the scales, the tail, and everything, the teeth, the skin color. So then he says, they are classified as fish, and there are rumors that when you come into contact with them, you will contract a rare disease. So Stelly freaks out, and it's actually kind of funny because when Neptune picks up Stelly, Nantucket faints right away. So kind of funny. So both Nantucket and Stelly are just out of it. They completely freaked out upon seeing Neptune and Shirahoshi and their brothers. So then we get to see the Neptune family head up to Marijwa in the Bondulas. So I think this is actually Shirahoshi's first time seeing the sun, and of course she is very excited. She actually starts to cry and says, if it's possible, Father, I would love to live up here. And of course, this makes Neptune and her brothers very happy because that's why they're at the Reverie. So that was a very, very sweet moment in this chapter. So then we cut to Marijwa, and we actually see sorry, one second. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right here. What's his name? Fujitora, sorry. I just had a massive brain fart. We actually get to see Fujitora and Green Bull. So, well, we just get to see Green Bull's silhouette. So, Green Bull is revealed to be most likely a guy because, he says, if there was a pretty girl here. So, he actually kind of speaks like he's very southern because, he says gal. Maybe not southern, because pretty much the only thing to hint that he had kind of like the southern accent was gal. And he has also not eaten in 3 years. This guy is going to be very interesting when we finally get to actually see him. And also, Fujitora, while he's talking with Green Bull, says, I went to Vegapunk's lab, I guess. He actually didn't meet Vegapunk, but he did see something that Vegapunk had created. So he says that they no longer need these 7 warlords. So what in the blessed world did that crazy old guy invent this time? Because we already have the pacifistas, which are extremely OP in their own right. He also dabbled in creating artificial zones. So, and also a lot of Frankie's new inventions are like based off stuff that he found in Vegapunk's lab. So we know he's going to be incredibly like smart and crazy and all this. So on one hand, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Vegapunk has created. I'm really looking forward to seeing Vegapunk himself because, like, how many years has it been since Vegapunk was first mentioned and we still have not seen him? Like, seriously, how many years have it been? So we get to see a silhouette of Green Bull, and then we cut over back to the Kamabaka Kingdom, and so we get to see Betty talking with Koala. So Betty brings up, oh yeah, it's like the fishmen are gonna be there at the Reverie. Isn't this gonna be kind of awkward for you since, you know, she has that whole thing with the Sun Pirates, Koala does. And Koala is just going like, no, I mean, we don't want to topple the world government itself, which, no, no, no. The world government needs to go down, okay? Like, it's not just the Celestial Dragons, which Koala says, like, we need to take down Celestial Dragons. Like, the world government itself is not our thing, it's the Celestial Dragons. And yes, while the Celestial Dragons are buttholes, and obviously, you know, Koala was a slave, so she'd obviously want to bring down the Celestial Dragons, obviously. But there's also the Gorosei, which I am pretty sure they are very corrupt and probably hiding some things that they shouldn't be, and they need to be brought down too. There's also like Akainu who needs to be brought down. There's just this whole thing. It's not just the Celestial Dragons. It's not. The corruption in the world government goes way, way farther than just the Celestial Dragons. So I don't particularly agree with Koala there, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see. So, Stelly, we cut back over to the red line where Stelly is now going up the gondolas. I keep wanting to say gondolas. It's gondolas. So Stelly is now going up with King Hamburger. Oh Lord, that's hilarious. He's now going up with King Hamburger, and he actually sees Morley, presumably, because he says, just now I saw a giant peeking out at us from inside the wall. He was holding a harpoon. So we don't actually get to see Morley, but just from that description, I think it is him. And Ken Hamburger is just like, what kind of hallucination are you having? So Stelly's like completely freaking out. He's going like, we're up too high. The wind is shaking us so much, and he's just massively freaking out. So then we get to see some crows. I'm like, when I first read this chapter, I was going like, oh, crows, okay. I'm pretty sure that's Karasu. I'm pretty sure that's Karasu, and it's awesome. Oh man. So Stelly is of course freaking out because he's going like, if like they come over here and pop the bubble, we're falling. And Shiraho, she sees him also, and she's very happy because of course she's never seen birds before. So Stelly then says, "Hey guard, load your gun, shoot them down, hurry before they pop the bubble." So the guard responds, "Don't worry about them, crows have never popped the bubbles before. So please rest assured, King Stelly." And the guard is SABO. I am so happy right now because I finally got SABO and Stelly together because I just want to see SABO, like, wait, does Stelly know that SABO's alive? Because we have Morgan's, like, when Stelly was talking to Garp, he said, SABO actually came from there. So I don't know if Stelly heard him or not, but if he didn't, does he know that SABO is alive? Because if not, and SABO, like, he escorts Stelly to the Reverie, and he, like, reveals himself during the Reverie, Stelly's going to freak out, and that's going to be hilarious, because that's SABO probably would have become the king of Goa Kingdom if he hadn't left. Instead, it was Stelly that became the king. Of course, we have the prince and the king, which Stelly, or maybe SABO's parents did it. One of those two killed the former king and prince of the Goa Kingdom. So obviously SABO wouldn't have done that, but his parents might have. So SABO might have actually become the next king of the Goa Kingdom. And I really, really want to see the interaction between SABO and Stelly after everything that Stelly has done to SABO and everything that SABO's parents have done to SABO. And of course, Stelly was a major suck up to SABO's parents. And SABO now trying to bring down the world government, and I'm pretty sure that SABO, like, with Koala just wanting to bring down the slush dragons, I don't think SABO's like that. I think that he truly wants to bring down, like, the world government as a whole, not just the celestial dragons, because, yeah, he was shot by a celestial dragon, but he had issues with, like, the world government and the nobility and the royalty long before that. He had issues with his parents. He had issues with, like, pretty much everything that the nobles were doing. So I don't think SABO is just going after the celestial dragons. I think he is going after all the nobles that are abusing their power and, like, leaving their people to suffer while they just live in abject luxury. So with SABO now with the Revolutionary Army, and they are technically adopted brothers, technically. So I really just want to see the interaction between those two, because Stelly is going to freak out. SABO is going to love every single minute of that, just being able to stick it into Stelly and stick it into his parents, because, if SABO's parents are still alive, Stelly is going to go back home and tell them about this. Like, he's going to massively freak out over this. So I cannot wait. Like, it's going to be awesome. So, of course, that is the end of the chapter, and I am so looking forward to the next chapter. Like, holy Jesus, this was awesome. So, thank y'all for watching. Taizai will be coming out tomorrow. Unfortunately, there will not be a discussion video because I just got home, okay? So, there will not be a discussion video this weekend. Most likely next weekend, hopefully, maybe. So thank y'all for watching and hope y'all have a safe week. Thank you.